Thank you for joining this Quantum Security Defense webinar, Post-Quantum Cryptography Governance, Introducing QMI. Steve Vail has over 30 years of international business experience, including 18 years in deep tech, specializing in causal analysis for telecommunications and defense networks in both technical and commercial roles. Steve holds executive credentials in venture finance and entrepreneurship from the University of Oxford and digital strategy from Yale University, along with an educational dual masters in international business administration from the Rome Business School and Universidad Internacional de Valencia, VIU.
Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you for the time. So over the next sort of 30 minutes, I'm going to introduce you to the QSECDEF Migration Index. We're calling it the QMI for the moment. The QMI is effectively a measurement instrument that we've built to address a specific gap in the post-quantum migration field. It came from a discussion with a couple of customers in the field. I'll go into that a little deeper in a moment. It's important to note that at the moment this is published only as a working paper. It has been tested against some historical migrations and some live data, but it's still very much at an early stage. And one of the reasons that we're presenting today is to get your feedback. Whether you want to join the cohort or whether you want access to the materials, it's our aim to publish the documentation as an open document. Not quite sure how it will be licensed yet, but it will be free and open, so anyone will be able to use it. And then there'll be full training and documentation available on the QSECDEF platform for anyone that wants to certify. So I'm going to spend roughly 35 minutes on the substance, and then we'll leave 5 minutes for questions at the end. If you could type any questions that you have into the chat window as we go, that would be ideal. And then we should come to them sort of at the end of the presentation. Excuse me whilst if I'm somewhat slow, it's because I'm also clicking other buttons here. Okay, so the goal today is to take really 5 concrete things away from you after this presentation. The first is what the QMI actually is, not in the abstract, but as a practical instrument that takes the inputs you almost certainly already have if you're running a serious post-quantum cryptography program. Or if you're not already running a post-quantum cryptography program, it should give you a sort of flavor and an understanding of how you might govern it. Secondly, we're going to cover where the QMI sits in terms of the existing landscape. There are now about 8 or 9 substantive frameworks on the market, and I'm going to be clear about how the QMI complements those frameworks, including, MOSCA, the PQCC Dutch Handbook, and Marin's framework, who's obviously on the call. And then thirdly, we're going to go into how we've tested the QMI. I think this is the part that most frameworks skip. I'll take you through the 3-method validation approach that we used and a deliberate falsification test. And I'll explain why we ran a falsification test as well. Fourth, and this is the most important point, is what the evidence says. It's, I'm not really pushing a framework here today. This is not, universally validated. It's a very early stage working paper. I'll be telling you exactly where it works and where it doesn't, and why the sort of future failure modes we've identified are credibility positive rather than credibility negative. And then lastly, you'll be able to use it directly inside your own organization, or if you want to join a validator cohort, you'll be able to also utilize it in customer organizations as well. Okay, so apologies for the massively busy slide. Most organizations that we see today are approaching post-quantum cryptography as a discovery project. Find the cryptography, build the inventory, migrate it, and then leave it alone. And this sort of slide is designed to show what we see as QSECDEF in terms of some of the customer pain points around post-quantum cryptography projects.
Thank you for watching this preview. The entire presentation and over 150 quantum and advanced AI presentations from industry leaders are available on QSECDEF. Search for Quantum Security Defense to find out more.